Ahoy hoy! I am Planner Walk, and welcome to... Oh shit. My headphones just fell out. Always a good start with me. I need to get new headphones. Preferably ones that aren't way too short. Anyway, welcome to another stream where I'm just going to be, going through a few things, talking with people, and, just standard stuff. Really. Hopefully I can get a round of the right the hand or whatever to explain what is it? Reference frames. There we go. Because, apparently you don't understand that, but what a surprise, what a surprise. Anyway, how's it going in chat? Not much activity in chat today, unfortunately. So only a very few people have tuned into the stream. It's got 7 viewers. I suppose it's because you've got Creaky streaming. You've got Creaky, and who else is streaming? Oh, you're gonna have Conspiracy Cats is going to be debating Kent Hovind. I'm looking forward to that. You're getting delay?
Alright, let me check the stream.
Probably a little bit of delay. Anyway.
Check the stream. No, not really.
Okay.
I don't see it.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm looking forward to that debate. I probably won't catch it live because I'm always here's the thing. I try and always stream every week the same time, no questions asked. I've done this for not quite a year at this point. Would be over half a year, so yeah, not quite a year.
Really? Not a year? I thought it was a year.
Well, the streaming. So the way that I've been streaming.
I'll check the first stream when you first stream. Give me a second.
Well, when I first streamed on a Saturday at 9 AM was about over half a year ago. Doesn't mean that I started streaming over a year ago. I've been streaming for years.
Yeah.
Just the way that I've been streaming, I've been. I haven't done that all the time. And we've got a few people in chat. Hello, Demon Orb, Usher of Blackrod, and Fantarang. Alrighty. So one thing I did want to just mention is, does everyone remember when that person went on to that, I think it was that talk show host or talk show or something, and I can't remember what it was called. I'll show you anyway for reference. It was something about the can't get elected because of the Bible. Can't. Here we go. Anyway, I'll put this up so that you can see what I'm talking about. So here, just to give you a bit of context, and of course there's an ad, right? Of course there's an ad. Skip ad. So this is something that happened a while back, and you can see the point where he just where his brain just stops working.
Judge Moore has also said that he doesn't think a Muslim member of Congress should be allowed to be in Congress. Why? Under what provision of the Constitution?
Because you have to swear on the Bible. When you are before, I had to do it. I'm an elected official, 3 terms. I had to swear on a Bible. You have to swear on a Bible to be an elected official in the United States of America. He alleges that a Muslim cannot do that ethically, swearing on the Bible.
You don't actually have to swear on a Christian Bible. You can swear on anything, really. I don't know if you knew that. You can swear on a Jewish Bible.
Oh, no,
you can swear
I swore on the Bible. I've done it 3 times.
I'm sure
Jay.
you have. I'm sure you've picked a Bible, but the law is not that you have to swear on a Christian Bible. That is not the law.
See?
You don't know that?
Stop working.
Yeah, it's
Ted
just.
Crockett.
I don't know. I
That's
know
news
that
to him,
Donald
apparently.
Trump did it when we made him president.
Because he's Christian and he picked it. That's what he wanted to. That's what he wanted to swear in on. Ted Crockett with the More campaign. Good luck tonight. Thank you so much for being here. My panel will react when we
Merry
get back.
Christmas.
So yeah, that was
Merry Christmas, everybody.
yeah, that was that 2 years ago. So anyway, over the ditch now to some people that. So going over the ditch to some people over in Australia, and for some reason it's saying something's not playable. There's this here, which I think that it has the same level of brain damage, I guess. If we can play, goddamn. Okay, maybe we can't play. I don't want people knowing my location. Okay, apparently I can't play that. Damn. Maybe if I go on, maybe there's a clip of it on YouTube, because that was brilliant. I should have, tried downloading it or something. Steve Price, Jacinda Ardern, maybe? No, filter by upload date. I think I found it. No. Huh. It's really weird how I can't find any videos of it. Like Steve Price, Jacinda. Let's see on Google. Maybe this will have the... Okay, I think this might be it. Because this does have... Hopefully it's the full video. Or at least enough to give people an idea of what's going on. It's really annoying when you got something which is amazing and it's like, oh, not so amazing. Although it looks like... looks like that it's not going to... It's always annoying when you got to watch a 30-second ad for like 30 seconds of content. It's the most annoying thing. Here we. Okay. Here we go.
Why is she not holidaying in New Zealand? I mean, if you can criticise Scott Morrison for going to Hawaii, why is she not in Hamilton or Canterbury or somewhere like that? What's she doing hanging around in Australia?
Australia's in crisis, and there's New Zealanders supporting us.
Well, stay in her own country and spend money in her own place.
I reckon this could be part of
Typical
some sort of
virtue signalling from Jacinda Ardern. I get sick and tired of that woman. Why are we not criticising her for not holidaying in her own country?
Because her country's on fire, mate.
And our Prime Minister is out.
So? What do you mean, so?
She should be in New Zealand spending money.
They're allowed to leave the country, Pricey.
I'm getting a little bit sick and tired of Jacinda Ardern can do no wrong.
Well, because he's a very good leader.
See? Like, that's...
Where are you off to next?
God damn it. So that's the... I feel like it's the same level as this kind of stuff, you know? It's really... Yeah, like, I don't get why... I don't get how... Like, here's the thing. I don't get how people can be that stupid. You know? Like, yeah, sure, people can be stupid, but how can people be that stupid?
What are we talking about? Sorry, I was...
Okay, so recently Andrew Dickens... not Andrew Dickens. Fuck, I was reading. Stephen Price? Yeah, Steve Price.
Yeah?
He was going on about why is Jacinda not holidaying in New Zealand, her country. We're criticising Scott Morrison for holidaying in Hawaii, and you know they had to tell him New Zealand's not on fire. And it's like,
wait, so okay, so how did he not know that?
Like, he was going on about how people are criticising Scott Morrison for being in Hawaii when Australia was on fire, right?
Yeah.
Holidaying in Hawaii. And then there's also the fact that he lied about when he was coming back and all that kind of stuff. So there's all that kind of stuff. And people were trying to explain to, or the people on the panel were explaining to Steve Price, look, New Zealand's not on fire, Australia is. You know, it's completely different. You know, it's not that prime ministers can't go on holiday. Of course they can go on holiday. It's just, when your country's on fire, you should probably pay a bit more attention to your country being on fire.
Yeah. Is there any other topical stuff? Let's see.
Well,
Australia.
Yeah, I think I think most of the stuff to do with Australia, I think that's mostly cleared up. Well, at least a decent amount of it is cleared up. You know, people will always go on about how there's been the bushfires this year. You know, there's a whole lot of that, but I think for a large part of it, it has cleared up. At least it looks like the skies are turning blue again, which is always good, you know. There is something in, like, if I go to debate religion, you know, when it comes to people on the subject of religion, right? Some people have really bad arguments, like
yeah.
Right the Hand, for example, has been trying to not trying to convince me. He's been trying to tell me that the Earth needs a creator. Right.
That's a debate in religion, okay?
Yeah. So he's tried telling me that Earth needs a creator, and the reason why is, he says, do you think that Earth can make itself? Right.
Oh, I think I saw this earlier. Give me a second. Yeah, I found the chat. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Continue. Yeah.
So he said, so I was saying, how do you know that Earth was created by an intelligent being? He said, so Earth made itself, right? And so I decided to ask him, do rivers make themselves? And his response was, a river is part of Earth. Before you can have a river, you need Earth, correct? And that is literally the point that I'm getting at.
It's like he made no progress. It's still the same question.
Yeah, I'm literally like I want to know what he considers making itself. If he thinks that a river makes itself, then yes, I can say that the Earth makes itself, right? If he doesn't think that the river makes itself, it's okay. Why doesn't the river make itself, right? Because if the river doesn't make itself, then no, the Earth didn't make itself. It depends what we're defining as something making itself. So
the biggest problem with like these kinds of arguments is because it's just the definition of this stuff. It's so vague. They don't really give a clear example of what they consider by this, for example.
Yeah, like if something forming is considered making itself, then when something forms, it technically can be making itself, but I would consider that forming rather than making itself. Oh, Creaky's premiere is... I thought... You see, when people said the premiere, I thought that they were talking about a live stream. Okay, that's always good. Yeah, anyway,
more viewers for the stream.
Yeah, I prefer to use the word form rather than making, because making...
It's more accurate, I mean...
Yeah. Like, making is... There's a whole lot of things that are insinuated by that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think that saying, oh, so the Earth makes itself is a good argument, because first we've got to define, okay, what do you mean by making itself? Are you meaning coalescing from a group of rocks in space? Then yes, of course I think that the Earth made itself. If that's what you mean by making itself. But do you mean that, the Earth just poofed into existence? Do you think, how... there's a whole...
What do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean made itself? It's so vague. It's stupid.
Yeah. And that's
what do you mean itself? That's the biggest problem for me. Like, what do you mean by itself? Like, it's...
Well, I could say that I made myself, Yeah,
I mean, you grew, but I mean...
Yeah. Like, some people will say, no, your parents made you. It's like, well, actually, no. Like, I kind of made myself. It was assisted by... Sure, it was assisted by my parents, but if it wasn't for the DNA that's particularly encoded in my genome, then I wouldn't exist.
Same as for example, the material that the Earth formed from. I mean... Yeah. The material didn't make the Earth, but if it wasn't there, like it's stupid. It's just stupid.
Yeah, like there's so.
Who was this? Round applause. Oh, someone joined. Major Tom.
There's so many ridiculous things that people say. Like, you got a round of applause who has been saying, no, things are in motion when they are changing vectors in a field available of space, which everything can exist in. And it's like... And...
Here's... okay. Nothing, so sorry.
Yeah. I don't get how he's... Well, I don't get why he's trying to deny reference frames.
What does he get out of it? Like, how does that confirm the Earth is flat? That's like, why did he even start that? Yeah. But here he said, you think materials can come together with design without a designer. Ever seen useless DNA? Well, kinda.
Yeah, I've seen use. I'm full of useless DNA.
Yeah,
I mean, some people can argue that flat earthers have a lot more useless DNA than most people. I'm pretty sure flat earthers have DNA to encode a brain that didn't work. So,
Yeah, I think, Laura gave an excellent response. Prove a creator instead of trying to ridicule something you're clueless about.
Yeah.
I think a round of applause is just not a person to have an argument with about these things.
Yeah, like here's one of the main issues when it comes to people. Like a lot of what people say is not trying to prove their point. It's trying to disprove other points. And granted, you can, by disproving certain things, it can prove...
You prove others, yeah.
Well, actually, I won't say prove. It can give credence to your particular side, right? So, for example, if it was proven without a doubt that, just say Christians came up with a whole new argument for why there has to be a God. Okay, that's good and all, but it doesn't mean that the God is a Christian God, and there could always be more than one God. It could be the Greek gods. And it's like, well,
depends on the argument.
Yeah, it does depend on the argument, but for most arguments, like if you look at
it's not very specific on which god, yeah.
Yeah, like ontological argument, cosmological argument, all that kind of stuff. All it does is it arrives at all that it would do if you accept these arguments as true and flawless, right? All you arrive at is that there has to be at least one god. It doesn't say what god that is. It doesn't tell you whether it's the Christian god, whether it's the Muslim god.
Well, yeah, but I don't think they really care. As long as they're proving that there is a god, I think that's enough for them. First they need to prove that there's a god. Then they can get into which god is real. And so far they haven't come close. So, yeah.
Yeah. First you need to show that there is a god, right? That is pretty. But to be fair, there are ways which you could prove that a god is, or there are ways that you could show a god exists and show that it's your particular god, such as if there was some kind of, if a face appeared in the sky to everyone and just was like, yo, I'm God. I'm a Christian God.
Yeah.
Worship me, bitches. Then, that would kind of be evidence of a particular God. Apart from that.
See, when it comes like this scenario where a god appears in the sky, like, I don't know, I think I assume you wouldn't straight away believe in it, right? You'd think there's some other explanation.
Aliens.
And I think that for some reason, that's the first thing that came to my mind when you mentioned it. But I think for some reason theists, use this fact, the fact that that's the first thing that comes to our mind, as somehow to prove that we don't want to believe in a god. But I don't know. Is that true? Like, I've been thinking about it. Like,
so is it true?
You get what I mean?
Is it true that we don't want to believe in a god? Is that what you're asking?
Well, no, not really. But like, I don't know. Kind of lost the thought there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have heard of the argument, atheists just don't want to believe in a god, and it's like, okay.
Well, yeah, obviously that's not true. Yeah, I know that I don't. That I know that that's not the case. But
and if that's your only argument, don't have an argument.
Yeah, that's a pretty shitty argument.
It'd be like if my only argument against Flat Earth was, well, you just don't want to believe in a globe. Do you think I'm going to convince any Flat Earthers with that argument? No.
No.
Sometimes it's also a valid thing to say, oh, you don't want to learn, or you don't want... Especially if they're being especially obnoxious about something.
But it's like you don't want to believe this. And well, yeah, I don't want to believe because you haven't given me a good reason to believe.
But you'll notice
also,
I don't say you don't. I won't say, oh, you just don't want to believe that the Earth is a globe. Usually, I'll say, oh, you don't want to learn about something.
Yeah, because they really don't want to. Because if they learn, if you show them that there is another, they just don't want to learn that there's another point of view. Because if they, I think they're kind of afraid that they might be wrong. Because I mean, it's a very, I don't know, it's not a very solid, belief. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I might have said it to right the hand though. I'm not sure. I'm actually racking my brains with it. I said something that he doesn't want to something. Maybe it's he doesn't want. Maybe it's he doesn't want to understand.
You did. You said that.
That might have been
want to understand.
Yeah, that might have been the phrasing that I used. Because I'm pretty sure I wouldn't say, at least going forward, I'll try my best not to say that people don't want to believe that Earth is a globe. Because when it comes to not wanting to believe something, that implies that it's a choice of belief, and I don't like using. I don't like insinuating that things based on evidence is a choice of belief, because then it gets used against you. And that is a big problem when it comes to anything. Is people will take the slightest thing that you say and then try and use it against you. You see it all the time. Someone will say, "Oh, but you said this," and it's like, okay, yeah, maybe I was wrong on when I said that. And then it's like, that means your whole position is wrong. Well, no, I'm making mistakes in what I say. And Prisma just said, I think Right the Hand deleted his YouTube channel. I think it's still up. I'm sure it's still up. I'm pretty sure it's Right the Hand. Yeah, it's still up. It's no space between right and the. And apparently he's giving evidence for 1 + 1 = 1.
Oh, that's...
I'm actually curious what his argument there is, because I'm sure...
Please. Show it on the stream. But before you do, I just want to ask you, what's the thing on the stream right now? The view of the Earth. What is
that's
it?
the Himawari real-time view, and although technically it's like half an hour ago.
Oh, okay, so it's... Yeah, it has a latency, okay, but it's pretty good. What's the website? Or is it a program? Is it a program or a...
Himawari8.nict.go.jp. Usually you just have to search on Google Himawari 8 and it'll be one of the first results. So we'll get a few votes in the chat.
I'll check.
Say something like, show it if you want to see Right the Hand's stupidity. Say something like, don't show it if you want to conserve brain cells. Up to you guys. And I'll see what kind of argument he's got. I don't think he'll...
There's 30 viewers, that's nice.
Yeah. Okay, we've got a...
Better than 7, that's
yeah,
sure.
Definitely. I think there was definitely an uptick after what's his name? After Creaky's premiere ended. Christmas says show it. Harry Warp says saw it. We've got one... Okay, well, 2 people are saying show it, so that seems to be...
Alright.
No one has said... or one person says that they have brain cells to spare. I think I lost a brain cell just from hearing his voice.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
that's
I'll
an
wait
even
for-
worse microphone quality than mine.
Yeah, I'll wait for one person to one more. Go ahead and show it if you're a masochist. Okay, that's 3 people. Alrighty, what's this gonna be? I'll turn it down a little bit.
All right, the hand. So 1 plus 1 equals 1. What, Chris? You can't be serious. You can't take one of
Well, that's
something.
1 minute.
add
It's
into one of
it's a
something,
joke.
and get one of something, bro.
Yeah, I'm just-
1 plus 1 equals 2. Always. We proved it.
But I feel like there's some kind of argument. I feel like he's drawing an analogy here, right? That's what I think he's getting at. Right? I don't think he actually thinks that 1 plus 1 equals 1.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's trying to show some kind of analogy, and I want to. That's what I'm curious about. I'm curious about the analogy.
Yeah, but also I don't know. It's okay. Continue. Yeah, just
Okay, yeah.
play it.
Continue. Continue.
Okay. So if I have 1 coffee in my left hand and 1 coffee in my right hand, and I add the coffee in my left hand to the coffee in my right hand, how many coffees do I have in my right hand? Would be still 1 coffee. So 1 plus 1 doesn't always and forever equal 2. So math, sigh, is just a description term, doesn't prove anything. The numbers are just numbers to express what you are seeing with your eyes. Bro, 1 plus 1 doesn't always equal 2, so you can't sit here and say 1 plus 1 equals 2. It's empirical. We proved it. No, because here's 1 plus 1 equaling 1.
It's the best excuse for not being good at math that I've ever seen.
Yeah, like it depends. Like here's the
but he has a point.
Yeah, like it depends.
He's like.
Yeah, it depends on the distinction. Like, it depends how you define a cup of coffee, like, right?
Yeah.
So, here's the thing with application of maths into the real world. Inside maths, everything that is mathematically proven that 1 plus 1 equals 1. That is an undeniable fact in the world of maths, right? But when you try translating mathematical concepts into reality, it's like, okay, I have 2 objects here, right? Or I might have... Here we go, right? I'm going to just switch to my camera. So I have 2 objects here, right? 1 object in each hand. Well, yeah, if I have 1 object in in each hand, and I put both objects in this hand, you could say, oh, well, no, you only have 1 object, right? Because sometimes someone may define it as a different object. So, if I have 2 different... in each hand contains 1 different object, right? But when I put all the objects in one hand, that one hand contains 1 different object. It depends how we define things. So these kinds of concepts can be translated back to math. So if I want to say that I have a set of numbers, so just say I've got one set of numbers that is 5, 8, 9, right? And then I have another set of numbers that is 5, 8, 6. So the first set of numbers contains 3 different numbers. The second set of numbers contains 3 different numbers, but when I combine the 2 sets of numbers, I only have 4 different numbers. Even though 3 plus 3 equals 6, I don't actually have, when they're combined, I don't have a total of 6 different numbers because I have 4 different numbers. And so that comes, same thing applies to his coffee thing. If you define a coffee as half a cup of coffee, right, and you combine the 2 cups of coffee, then it's, then it's 2 cups of coffee. But if you only define it as how much as coffee in a cup, and then you actually combine them, well, then you have 1 cup of coffee.
Yeah, yeah. But I think, yeah, but it's an interesting thing to think about, the fact that well, I mean, kind of our not our concept of math. Obviously, math it can't be wrong, but our way of describing it, I guess, is sometimes flawed. And you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think that's what he's trying to say. He said something about it's only a description or something like that. Well, I mean, yeah, because I don't know if he's trying to say that the way we describe math. I think he's criticizing that, but I don't know what's he trying to prove by doing that.
I'm pretty sure he's criticizing the idea of so. A lot of people will bring up maths in order to make a point about reality, right? You know, you see this done all the time. You know, someone will say,
"Oh, yeah,
something about
I see why."
What's the formula for perspective, right? And so what he's trying to do here is he's trying to get around it by saying, well, maths doesn't always translate to reality. Whereas in reality, what we're trying to say is that when it comes to something like the formula for perspective, is we can work out these things mathematically. You know, we can work out how perspective should look in reality using maths. And this is the idea of modeling, because you know, in a model. Oh yeah, this is getting a bit too far off topic a little bit. But the idea is that he's trying to avoid mathematical questions concerning reality by saying that maths doesn't always apply to reality. Or that
that's what I said at the beginning. It's the best excuse for not knowing math.
I don't think that he's completely clueless about maths, right?
Well, yeah, but he's obviously if he gets into a debate where he has to then prove something using maths, I don't think that's gonna end well for him.
Yeah, he's just gonna say 1 + 1 = 1. I'm like, and that's where it comes to definitions, because I could say, well, you actually have the same volume of liquid that you started with. Right, if he puts one coffee in another, you know, if you have 300 milliliters of coffee in one cup and 300 milliliters of coffee in another cup, and you combine them together, it doesn't change the fact that you've now got 600 milliliters of coffee. Maybe some of it didn't quite make it to the second cup, so it's, you know, the first cup has some residue coffee in it, so you might have a little bit less than what you started with. But, you know, reality is full of imperfections, as I've admitted. I've got a video where the last thing that I say is, you know, reality isn't perfect.
Yeah, I get it. Let's not talk about the right hand anymore. I'm getting I don't want to lose any more brain cells. What are some other topics that are relevant? Let's see.
I don't think I noticed Philosopher of Nonsense joining.
Yeah, he joined just now.
Just now. Ahoy hoy, Philosopher of Nonsense. Okay, he seems to be
Say something that's nonsense, please.
Yeah, I just popped in for a bit.
Okay.
How are you all?
I'm good. Yourself?
Earth is flat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
God damn it! He got me.
Can't deny that. I mean, it's clear now. It's so obvious. My eyes have been opened.
I'm having an extreme delay.
Okay.
Really?
Wait, are you watching this?
If you're in the voice chat, yeah, it's always like that. It's just YouTube. It's not the host that's streaming. It's because of YouTube's
although I do
delay.
although I do want to know if he's watching the stream, because sometimes people are getting their audio from the stream and they're like, Discord, I'm getting such a delay, and it's like 2-second delay because it's on the stream, and my stream has something like a 2-second delay.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just muted the stream. It's easier that. But I'm watching it. I muted the stream, but I'm watching it.
It really depends on whether you're hearing yourself. If you're not hearing yourself, then...
No. I was just getting the delay off of the stream. Off of Discord.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait. Okay, now it's better. I don't know.
Cool.
Maybe it's just a little bit like... I'm contrary to popular belief, the stories of me being assimilated are greatly exaggerated.
Okay.
Good to know.
We'll have to try harder to assimilate you then.
Yeah, I got struck with the Black Plague all this time. That's why I was gone for a couple weeks.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah,
the day and age we live in, am I right?
Oh yes, but let's not have any vaccines or anything like that, because those might have they might have a touch of mercury in them or something.
One thing that I think I've gone through a little bit of it on stream. One thing that I do have to go through is there's this document that I was linked to a while back, and I don't know if I've got it saved in my Firefox tabs or not. I might have to go, but find my bookmarks or something. I don't know where my bookmarks are. Maybe it's in the library.
Well, I was just listening earlier to about the whole reason why people want to believe in God or want to believe in flat Earth, and I don't know if you guys are still want to talk about that at all.
Yeah, we can still talk about it. You seem like someone that's up for a bit of philosophy and stuff, so Oh
well, I think it's more the idea. I mean, I think this goes with theists in general, flat earthers, conspiracy theorists, and all. I mean, they don't want to be proven wrong, but a lot of times it's easier to be fooled than to be convinced that you have been fooled.
Yeah, and one of the funny things is that they actually use this line to say, "Oh, you've been fooled by the globe. That's why everyone believes it." And it's like, well, no. We just look at. It's easy to look at the evidence for the globe and come to the conclusion that the Earth is a globe. It's really easy. Flat Earthers just have this bias because I think a lot of them, they want to feel special, right? They want to be special, and the easiest way to be special is saying something like, well, I know that the Earth is flat, everyone else is an idiot because they think that the Earth is a globe. They've all been fooled. I'm the one that's been red-pilled here.
Yeah, it's a need for a sense of belonging, I think. But I'll notice that they'll put a lot more work into denying facts or blocking facts from reaching them than they will to actually see the facts themselves.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I think the most annoying thing is when they so because science, if you use science to disprove their theories, it's gonna be easy. Okay, it's really easy because most of their theories go against science, and so in order to avoid this, they just start dismissing the science itself, and they start calling it lies, and that is the worst thing about it because like you can't do anything anymore. Whatever you present them with, it's gonna be lies. Yeah, and they do this because well, then you can't really touch them. And that's, I think, that's just the most annoying thing about it all.
Yeah, when it comes to it, it's basically this idea that that you've been lied to. It's the idea that the flat earthers will say, "Oh, everyone's been lied to, and everything that they've put out to support this lie is fake," right? So this this easily is a dismissal for things like images from space. This is easily a dismissal for things like the ISS satellites, information about weather balloons, information about things like seismology, right? All this stuff is immediately dismissed. Problem is,
I mean,
is that
why do you? Yeah.
Is how far does this dismissal go, right? Because when you go...
Sometimes it's like they dismiss gravity. It's because, like, if you use gravity, obviously disproves their theory. And so they just dismiss gravity itself. And that's so annoying. Like, you just face it. Like, at least find a way to prove your theory. I mean, it's impossible, but at least try. Don't just dismiss it, because that's lazy and that's just annoying.
Yeah. So...
One thing... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, when it comes to the dismissal, one of the things that that I want to know is how far does this denial of science go? Because if you go into it, it's like, well, does it include... How many people does it include? Does it include... So obviously it's going to include everyone at NASA, right? Some people may say it only includes the higher-ups at NASA, but what about the people that actively work on things like rocket engines and all that? Are they lying to everyone? You know, the engineers? Are they lying to everyone? All the computer technicians that...
Yeah,
are they lying to everyone? What about every seismologist ever? Their models are based on the globe. Are they lying to everyone? What about
like a seismologist in fucking India? Like, how are you gonna get to him? What are you gonna pay him? With what? It's stupid.
Yeah. What about the independent space agencies, like the Japanese Space Agency, the Russian Space Agency, SpaceX?
Yeah, I met like
Jeff
people who didn't. I met people who didn't even know that like ESA existed. NASA is lying to us. And I say, what about ESA? And they're like, well, what's that? Like I met people who were dismissing. That's the worst, when they don't bother doing the research. Like I met a guy. Well, actually, most of people that I talked about this, like the moon landing, are kind of just dead by now. It's like everyone, it happened. But this guy, he was like, yeah, the moon landing was fake. And I asked him about all the other moon landings, and he didn't know that they happened. He just thought there was one. And that just proves like how much they believe in stuff just because they want to, not because they have a good reason to. It's because somehow it's just they want to believe in it. So they don't do research. They just stick to a thing they heard probably somewhere. Yeah, the moon landing, it wasn't real. And they're not gonna do research. They're just gonna say, yeah, the moon landing isn't real. Yeah, and they're not gonna bother with doing any more research. It's like they believe in what they want to, and that's annoying.
Yeah, I do want to keep on going with that, because I want to know, is every meteorologist in on this? You know, people that do... One person says in the chat, network engineers who work with long-distance wireless networking. Are they in on it? How many people...
We could also include all ham radio operators, all long-distance land surveyors, all cartographers. I mean, pretty much anyone who has all ship captains, navigators. You know, I mean, really, how far does it go? It goes as far as, you know, anything you say that will refute them, then they'll just deny that, and they'll just keep going all the way up the chain until, I mean, they'll flat out, they'll say. They'll say the president of the United States doesn't exist if he denied.
Yeah. Well, they'll say
although Trump probably does believe the Earth is flat anyway. I mean,
I have seen some people claiming that Trump is a flat earther.
Can we talk about Trump?
Yeah, that was me.
I mean, this is like years ago not years ago, but like over a year ago on Twitter, like. I think it was like half a year after Trump took office or something. There were people, or maybe a year after Trump took office, there were flat earthers claiming, "Oh, Trump's on Team Flurf," and it's like, oh my god, he Trump may be a bit of an idiot, But he's not that much of an
he's
idiot.
not that, yeah. But
Never
oh my God,
underestimate
we're
the
talking about
stupidity of
Trump.
Trump.
Can I just mention something? Like you have to see this. Like when there were when people were dying because of how cold it was in America. I don't know where it was. I think it was a state. Which one was it? Where like people were dying because of the. Oh my God. It doesn't matter. It was very cold, is what I'm trying to say. And he used that as an argument against global warming. I was just sad. It just made me sad that the president of America, which was even worse because America, I mean, he's using this as an argument against global warming. Like, I don't know if he actually believed in that, or if he's just trying to convince those who aren't really educated, his followers who aren't educated, because it's kind of hard for me to believe in the fact that the president of the United States doesn't realize how global warming works. And the worst thing is, like, someone mentioned this, I talked about this with someone like a few days ago. If you're like if you're like a candidate for any, like, for the office, doesn't matter. If you don't know, if you're not educated about something that's if you're not just educated in general, at least admit that you're not educated and get some help, like get some consult. But don't lie. Like it's you get what I'm saying.
Well, Trump has an unbelievable ego. I mean, remember, this is the same person when a hurricane was headed towards Florida. He tried to say it was going to Alabama, and when they said it wasn't going to Alabama, he drew a line in Sharpie on a map to say it was going to Florida or going to Alabama, which, by the way, is against the law. But he did that, and he showed it like, see, it's going to Alabama. But that was just I don't know. I know Trump probably better than a lot of guys, so you will not believe what this guy will do for his ego.
Trump is an idiot.
Wait.
Someone
just
roboted. Is that a
him.
voice changer?
Thanks, Christmas.
That was Christmas.
Yeah, that was me.
So one of the things I'm just gonna.
Continue.
I was
about to say Trump's a fucking idiot. He does not. And even when he wrote it going towards Alabama, it did the exact opposite and went straight towards South Carolina because, of course,
I shouldn't be laughing. I shouldn't be laughing.
Well, the sound of windmills, causes cancer too.
God, don't remind me.
Wait, oh my God!
Yes.
This is new to me. Did he?
I can't believe you didn't hear this.
Can someone please link me this, or at least like give me more details?
Just CNN. I don't know. Just look up windmills cause cancer on YouTube.
Or windmill cancer.
It's all over the place.
Oh,
windmill cancer.
I'm gonna look that up later. Thank you.
I'm gonna put up this thing on the screen, right? Because one of the subjects we're on is one that I've been looking into quite a bit recently. Is this the? No. I'll go open image in new tab and just copy that image over. So, has anyone seen this kind of image?
Oh,
here?
dude, that's a government website. You can't trust that.
Has anyone seen an image?
Yeah, that's government. You can't trust that. That's the government. That's the government, dude.
Similar to what I've put up here on screen. Now, this global surface temperature 1980 to 2010. It's not the government.
I've seen very similar to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people, like, here's the thing. 1998 was a pretty hot year in comparison. So if you're just comparing 1998 to all the other years, of course 1998 is going to be much warmer. Although NASA data, if you go from 1998 to 2009, there was a few years that are higher than 1998, like 2005 seems to be higher. 2005 is higher, 2007, and 2009. But, people try and bring up this kind of graph to say, oh, look, the flat line, therefore climate stopped changing in 1998. It's like, you do realize that time didn't end at 2010, right? Do you realize that?
And time didn't start. Time didn't start at 1998 either.
Do you realize that the Earth didn't end in 2012? We're living in 2019, and oh look, 2016 goes way above the temperatures in 1998.
Well, they don't see things like that. They only see what they want to see. So they put on their tunnel vision glasses, and then they say, "Oh, I don't see it."
Yep. Confirmation bias.
Yeah.
They'll search anything that match their confirmation.
I have been looking into a lot of this stuff recently because essentially there's a video coming out on it. At some point I'm going to be putting a video out on it. It just depends. It just depends when I can get it all done. I've got to record. Like today, I'm going to record.
Have you seen the interview that Joe Rogan did with? Oh my God, what's his name? Dan Aykroyd.
Who's Dan Aykroyd?
Oh my God.
Is he a climate change denier?
No, the actor that played in Ghostbusters, but everyone's joking like everyone makes the joke that he actually believed he was a Ghostbuster.
Okay.
He first of all, Aykroyd. What a funny surname, right? And he makes he's a conspiracy theorist person.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's an actor. He's a famous actor, but he's been he kind of started making vodka, but somehow he managed to mix vodka with the crystal skulls. And he kind of he's trying to sell this. Now I don't know if he actually believes in this or this is just like a marketing thing, but he believes that the crystal skulls are real and stuff like that. And he talks about he talked with Joe Rogan. This is why I wanted to mention this.
Wait, the Indiana Jones crystal skulls?
Yes, the Indiana Jones crystal skulls that you put in your locker and then they talk to you. You know that story? Okay, I'll talk about it later. Just listen to this. So Dan Aykroyd is on the Joe Rogan show, and he's talking about how about the crystal skulls, and then he mentions Neil deGrasse Tyson and says, you can't ask Neil deGrasse Tyson about this stuff because he's going to deny it because he doesn't want this to be true. Because how can he how can he say that there are aliens and stuff? Have you ever listened to Neil deGrasse Tyson? Do you even know who he is? He's acting as if all scientists. This is the bad thing that people have, this image of scientists being these guys that are dumb skeptics who just don't want to acknowledge anything and only. You get what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, though, Quantum. I don't believe you. I don't believe that that all these things that Dan Aykroyd is saying is true. I just refuse to believe that there's someone that stupid out there.
Well, we have Donald Trump.
We have Trump. We have Trump. Yeah.
He talks about before I end this, I just want to talk about the crystal skulls a bit more. He says that using vodka. This is the more and more I talk about it, the more I realize that this is probably just marketing, but it's still hilarious. He says that when you drink vodka, it can help you talk to spirits, and all that stuff. Then he talked about crystal skulls, about how this woman found a crystal skull and it was talking to her, and she put it in a locker and continued to talk to her, and then she gave it to some museum. But what's so annoying about him is that he acts as if he's above all this, but he still somehow believes it. It's so stupid.
Here's my question, right? What kind of vodka is he drinking to hear Crystal
I have
Skulls
no idea.
talk? Generally, that's psychedelics that you need to do.
Okay.
Maybe it's absinthe.
He went on the interview with Larry King. He did an interview with Larry King, and Larry, poor Larry, he took this vodka, he tried it, and it looked like he was about to puke. He looked like he was about to die.
Maybe it wasn't vodka and it was absinthe instead, because I've had that kind of reaction to absinthe myself. That stuff is.
Well, I drink vodka all the time. I've never talked to spirits.
Honestly, you've been drinking wrong vodka. What was I gonna say? Yeah.
Obviously, you can't get this from just drinking normal Smirnoff or something like that.
He
It's gotta be some special fucking vodka here.
Yeah. He says that it's special because they wash it through diamonds. It's not actually diamonds. It's fake diamonds. It's a literal nickname for the diamonds they used is fake diamonds.
Even if it was diamonds, diamonds are nothing but carbon. You could do the same thing
I know.
with
Yes,
gold.
I think. Oh my God, John made a joke where he said that they shouldn't use diamonds. They should just use Dan Aykroyd because he's worth more than the diamonds they used.
Well, they do sell vodka in a skull bottle. Maybe that's what he's talking. Maybe that's the one you got to get.
That's a good. I mean, that's a good vodka though. That is a good vodka there.
I think
the skull looks pretty at least.
Can we talk about stupid theories? This is fun. I mean, unless you have anything better.
Well, here's a stupid,
more productive, I guess.
Here's a stupid theory that lizard people are a thing.
Oh yes, please.
They live inside the hollow earth.
How do people actually believe that the Queen is a lizard person? If you thought Flat Earth was stupid, right? Lizard people, now that's a whole nother level of stupid.
No. Lizard people are all real, okay? Everyone in Congress is rep.
Including Obama, he's the original lizard person.
Oh, he's definitely a lizard person. I mean,
No. They're not lizards. They're androids. They're human androids.
Oh yeah.
That's another theory that every politician is an android, and I'm like.
I mean, Mark Zuckerberg. He's not a politician, but he's definitely an android.
He's a poorly programmed android.
Yeah.
He's still learning, guys. Give him a break.
He's the beta version of Commander Data.
Oh yeah.
To be fair, though,
I think Major Tom laughed.
To be fair, though, when it comes to Mark Zuckerberg, there's probably something suspicious going on with.
Yeah, I think he's actually I think there's something going on in with his mental state. I'm pretty sure. Have you seen him? I heard all the jokes. Yeah, everyone's heard the jokes about Marx. But have you actually seen videos of him? It's so weird.
Yeah.
He just does not act normal.
He just has very, very, very poor social skills. I don't think he's very well socialized as a child.
That is possible, but when it comes, you can just look at Elon Musk. Elon Musk, I don't know if he has. He doesn't seem like a person that has really good social skills. Yet he is.
He's definitely an android. He's definitely an android.
I don't think he's an android, but because
he smoked weed once, though.
Yeah, no. When it comes to Elon Musk, he's definitely way more normal than Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg.
I would say about a long shot.
His AI is just a little bit more developed. That's all
here's a plausible conspiracy. When it comes to Mark Zuckerberg, maybe he does have an android that he sends to do things, right? Whenever you see Mark Zuckerberg, that's just an android, right? The real Mark Zuckerberg is just at home doing weed or meth or whatever he's doing these days. that's actually another thing. It could just be that he's, done a whole lot of drugs, which just would make sense. I think that's far more plausible than him being a fucking lizard person.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's the real Mark Zuckerberg is actually a really good programmer. But
he actually
the one on TV is the Android. The problem is that the Android has a very poor 4G connection, so the data doesn't quite always get through.
He made Facebook to learn how to be human. He steals data. He steals data to learn about humans.
That would make that actually would fall in line with the bad AI thing.
It would.
It really would, actually.
Because Facebook, who here actually uses? I know Charisma uses Facebook, but apart from
I used it like in
people,
2014 the last time.
Apart from communicating with people, who here actually uses Facebook?
I am one of those.
I definitely. Yeah, you already said I do that.
I use Facebook to log into other things.
Fair enough. So here's the things that I use Facebook for. Like when the memes seem to be running dry, I go on Facebook to see if I can find a fresh supply of memes. All right.
Facebook is great for memes. It is, really is.
Like quite often, I'll go on Facebook and be like, "Oh, Christmas posted a meme. I'm just gonna steal that."
Wow.
I just use Reddit. I'm a professional memer.
Reddit would probably be a much better supply of memes, to be honest.
Yeah. But I think it's kind of getting like meta a bit with the guys trying to be like cool. Somehow they think they're better than others. It's like it's starting to become as bad as I don't know, Facebook or anything like any other social media. Like they for some reason think they're somehow better. Redditors. Redditor is almost an insult by now.
Or 4chaner.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the same level almost.
You want to know the best Twitter? Oh, no. Oh, fuck, I gave it away. The best social media platform is Twitter. But that's only because of one person. Right.
Elon Musk.
Trump.
Yeah, Trump, yes.
So Elon Musk helps it. Elon Musk is part of the reason why.
Elon Musk is good on Twitter, yeah.
But there's actually this person called Wint.
Bernie Sanders.
Right? Has anyone heard of Wint on?
No.
Okay.
WENTT?
No, WINT.
Nope. Got me on.
At Drill, at DRIL, I think it is. Right? There's actually two Twitter accounts. There's at Drill and at Drill2 something. Let me just see what it is. Right. The amazing one is the one that's just an AI.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen that.
Let me. I've screenshotted some of his comments.
Yeah, they had multiple of the. Yeah, they had multiple AIs, AI accounts. There was one that just.
Oh, I'm just gonna say at drill_GPT2, right? And he's got some amazing tweets like this one. I don't want to fuck. Stop sending me tweets. Why are you sending me tweets that make me want to fuck?
Okay, there's I think they're like they're programmed to learn from other like Twitter users, because I know there was this one bot that was created by this corporate company. I don't know.
Oh, Microsoft. You're talking about the one that became racist, right?
Yes, it's because everyone talked to it, like everyone spread they were basically learning teaching it racism and stuff like that. And it just became racist. It was like a child as if you took a child and gave it to, I don't know, neo-Nazis. That's basically what happened.
Yeah. There's also this one here. I came up with the brilliant idea of putting a bell on the end of my dick so I could tell if my dick was getting hard or not.
Another AI just ruined.
Brilliant thing from this AI here. Another one is, it's me. I'm the guy who makes the Twitter bird noises while you're tweeting.
Okay.
Here's an amazing one. God was saying the end times were near, and I was saying ROFL. What an idiot, cries. And the popes were like, you're so cool, LOL.
What a comedic genius, am I right?
And then there's, my stats tell me I'm male, but I'm actually 100% pure evil. My true sex is currently unknown.
That's kind of cringy.
I think it's brilliant. Like these, sure, it is human curated, so they take the best of the thing. But to think an AI came up with this, humans. Here's the thing with humans: they will say things like, "Oh, this one's cringy, so I'm not going to post." But with an AI, there's no filter.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, there's no such thing as
There's no filter on an AI. There's no filter.
Technically, there is a human filter,
no.
but
there's a human filter, but that's the human filter. If you let it to its own devices, there wouldn't be a filter.
Yeah.
You know about the God and Satan account? I think they're two different people, but it's just like they thought of the same joke.
Yeah.
And one is just God, the other one is Satan, and God got approved, but Satan still didn't, and that's just unfair.
Yeah,
Everyone is still demanding. Yeah, they're demanding to get Satan to get verified. Yeah.
That sounds like Godism to me.
The ones I like are the Star Trek RP ones, like Golden
Oh,
Clock. Have
you
Golden
seen
Clock
Star
has the
Trek
best
without
tweets.
context? Star Trek without context, just like screenshots from Star Trek that just it's hilarious, and go look it up.
No, Ducat is the best because he makes the best. Like one said, I will build a subspace graviton field, and I will make Bajor pay for it.
Some of these I do know what Star Trek is, but most of the I do know that you're referencing Star Treks, but most of these you see, I've only watched 2 Star Trek movies and a little bit of the Star Trek. One like where they got
Bless your heart.
Actually, I have watched some of the newer Star Trek.
Wait, did you watch the new ones or the old ones?
So I watched some of the new ones, but then I got bored. I was after like an episode or 2, I got bored and was like, okay, yeah. Then there was there was one that I watched it quite a while ago. All I remember is that these people were there's these people that were communicating with the Star Trek Enterprise Starship Enterprise had gotten stuck somewhere, and then there were these beings that were communicating with them, trying to say, "Oh, we need hydrogen."
I remember that episode, I think.
And one of them was having visions or something. And the visions was like of 2 eyes, or saying about 2 eyes or something.
That sounds familiar.
That does sound familiar.
Yeah, it sounds really familiar. I mean, but it kind of sounds like every Star Trek episode.
Aren't they always getting stuck?
I was going to say
they always get stuck. I mean, yeah, like 70% of episodes, which are I'm perfectly fine with this because it's still fun to watch. Like 70% of episodes is just them getting stuck on a planet, meeting a strange alien. The red guys die, and then
except for Deep Space Nine, which completely rewrote what Star Trek was.
Yeah, well, yeah, Deep Space Nine it's a completely different thing, but
Deep Space Nine, I think they copied Babylon 5 basically, and it turned out really good though.
Yeah, it's good, but I think my favorite one would be the I guess the original trilogy, and then the Next Generation.
Yeah, I barely have no idea.
The original series, not the trilogy.
I'll say trilogy. What?
Yeah, I was. It's,
this would be like
Not
if
Star Wars now.
yeah.
Yeah, this would be like if I were to start talking about Kingdom Hearts with charisma. I think most people would be like, "What? Wait,
Yeah.
what are you talking?
No, just
There's
try-
a game with Mickey Mouse and you Donald Duck and."
Okay,
Yeah, if you tried to explain Kingdom Hearts to someone that doesn't know about it, they would be lost within 5 minutes.
Oh, definitely. It'd be like, so there's this guy called Xehanort, or there's this guy called Ansem who's not the real Ansem, but is actually the apprentice of Ansem who basically Ansem went into hiding, and there was actually this person called Xehanort who decided to take Ansem's identity, but he also had a little bit of amnesia. Once he took Ansem's identity, it was actually Xehanort's Heartless that took Ansem's identity when Xehanort became a Heartless and a Nobody. So you got the Heartless of Xehanort and the Nobody of Xehanort.
Nobody is there.
The Heartless of Xehanort is Ansem. The Nobody of Xehanort is Xemnas, which is basically Ansem with an X, or Ansem rearranged with an X, which is basically what all the Nobodies are.
All the Nobodies are. Yeah.
Yeah.
You lost me at the Scientology part.
and then Xemnas was going back in time to recruit other versions of himself.
Actually, no, that was Ansem.
Ansem, yeah, that's right. That was Ansem. Yeah, that's right.
Wait,
that's right.
Was it
Xehanort? It was Xehanort. Arrakis. It was Arrakis.
No,
before you
Ericus.
Continue, like
Ericus,
someone might say like
Ericus became Xehanort when he absorbed Terra's soul.
What?
Ericus. Remember Ericus absorbed what was left of Terra? Took Terra's heart.
Okay, I don't. Ericus was the good guy in Birth by Sleep, though.
I'm thinking
okay, the views are dropping.
Are you thinking of old?
Views are dropping.
Are you thinking of Old Man Xehanort?
41 to 38.
Yeah, Old Man Xehanort. Yeah, Old Man Xehanort took Terra's.
Yeah,
never mind.
Yeah.
Oh,
So basically,
guys, we're losing viewers, please.
People are just like, how convoluted can this plot get?
And also,
before we go, okay,
if you take the name Ericus and rearrange it, it's spelled square, by the way.
Oh my god.
That's where they come up with the name.
Before we continue, just want to say, there's this. Have you seen the video of like two guys fighting? Like, one is, I assume, Sora. Actually, I don't know who they were portraying, but they're like they're in this parking lot with keyblades, and they're like not choreographed at all, but somehow it looks as if they are. And like they're like screaming, "You're a nobody!" And it's like you assume that this is cringy, but like they're having so much fun, and it's like I wish I could have that much fun. Like I don't care if it's cringy. Yeah, please, like later, I'm gonna link it in one of the channels.
I'm gonna go get something really quick. Keep talking.
Yeah, if you wanna watch it, just let me know. Also, oh well, he left. I wanted to recommend him a good Star Trek episode. Who here says they watch Star Trek?
I do.
Yeah, you guys know the episode where Data goes to a planet where they're like there's a flood. No, drought, and there's like this small village, and it's like the only humans that are left there. And they don't believe Data that they need to be evacuated because like an alien fleet is and he like
wipes his memory. The radiation wipes his memory.
Yes, they managed to survive even though there was radiation, and he meets this girl. Yeah, that's one of my favorite episodes. I don't know why. It's just such a.
And then they bury him and everything, and then
yeah. But it's when Data. I think I like it this much because when Data, he got a Keyblade. Planet Walker got a Keyblade. I think it's such a good episode because when Data gives a speech when he destroys the pump, and it was such a Chad move. Like
he does that in another episode. He did that in another episode where there was another alien species that owned the planet, was coming to destroy the entire group of humans that were living there.
That's the episode I was talking about.
No, there's 2 different episodes like that. There's 2
Sounds
separate episodes.
just like the movie Insurrection, though. Also.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the better episodes.
Okay.
I'm gonna find the name of those 2 episodes, and you're gonna watch them.
The one I'm talking about has this woman that becomes infatuated with Data because she likes technology, and everybody else was really
this one's episode. That's the same episode.
No,
I know what you're talking. There's
2 episodes.
No, that's the same episode.
This one doesn't have. No, this one he doesn't have any radiation damage. He was sent to pack them all up and to leave because there were aliens coming to kill him.
Okay.
Yes, I'm talking about that one. But it's a radiated. Okay, yeah. Let's not continue talking.
Yeah,
about
there's something else.
Sorry.
Bring up because
33 viewers. Oh God.
Morning.
No.
It's going
Morning,
down.
gentlemen. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can.
Oh no,
good.
Usher's here.
Okay.
I didn't know if you could hear me or not.
So
we're having rather slow internet problems.
Has anyone here seen the movie Predestination?
I can't say I have.
Okay.
Can't say.
Basically, when I was watching the movie, I was actually thinking of this thing called. Shortly after the movie started, I was thinking of this idea called Jane's Paradox. Have you heard of it?
Let me get up.
I'm bad with name.
Okay, so basically, the idea of Jane's Paradox is this woman goes back and this guy meets a time traveler. This drifter guy meets a time traveler, right? And then they go back in time, and he meets himself, right? But he used to be a female, and so he meets her. He basically meets himself, impregnates himself, and then shortly after that he leaves, and the female version of him has the kid. The kid gets taken, and the kid gets taken away by the drifter and sent to an orphanage not taken away by the drifter, gets taken away by the time traveler guy and gets sent to an orphanage because the original guy that got changed to a female is actually from an orphanage, right? And so basically, it turns out that this person is their own mother, their own father, their own grandfather, their own...
Yeah.
Damn, that's for some reason, whenever I heard you said meets his female version of himself, that for some reason made me think of Sliders. that show, Sliders was awesome show.
That was entertaining.
Also, it turns out that the time traveler is also the same person as well.
Fry is it?
Of course,
Fry,
yes. It's only logical.
Yeah,
Fry is his own grandfather.
Basically, I figured that out. Like, I was like, "Oh, this would be cool if this was." I was thinking, "Oh, this would be cool if it was a movie about Jane's Paradox." Turns out that's exactly what it was. Sorry if I spoiled the movie for everyone, but.
Oh, Jane's Paradox. You mean the Predestination Paradox? Then is what you're talking about. That's the name of the paradox, I believe. Actually,
I think it's. I'm pretty sure it's Jane's, not Jane's Addiction.
I'm just saying.
I heard of Jane's Addiction.
Yeah. Oh, it's called the Grandfather Paradox.
Yeah,
you're talking about that. Yeah, I know about that.
Now I know that one.
Or a causal loop. It could also be called a causal loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's the grandfather paradox is solved if you like used if you calculate in the possibility of the multiverse of like parallel universes. So that kind of because I'm pretty sure if I can remember correctly, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna try and find this thing that I read about it. Give me a second. You continue. Just you can switch to another subject while I look for this.
Speaking of time travel paradoxes, right? Everyone here's seen Endgame, right?
Endgame, I think so.
Avengers Endgame.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You have to. You can't just use one word of the title.
Ender's Game. Ender's Game. It's called Ender's Game, by the way, not Ender's Game.
Oh, Ender's Game, yeah.
Yeah. So
Ender's Game. Yeah, it was written by a very asshole-ish person, by the way.
So-
but that's.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put up on screen and
I love Ender's Game, by the way.
Endgame. While I'm talking about Endgame, whilst I'm talking about Endgame, if you haven't seen it and don't want spoilers, mute, basically. So let's view image. Alright.
Oh, Avengers Endgame. I thought you were talking about Ender's Game. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm talking about Avengers Endgame, right? So
okay, Ender's Game, yeah.
So, spoilers.
Oh, there's time travel in it. Oh goody.
So, spoilers if you haven't seen Endgame, basically mute, because I'm going to be spoiling basically the entirety of Endgame here.
Endgame is all.
Okay, before you continue, just want to let you know that I found the video that I was talking about.
I should say, just want to add real quick, if you haven't seen Endgame by now, and
you're not gonna
spoilers,
see it.
well, it's your fault. It's your fault for not seeing it already.
It's on Disney Plus right now. You can watch it if you got Disney Plus.
Yeah, first go watch The Mandalorian.
Download it,
and then you can watch.
Oh, The Mandalorian was. Oh God, that was great. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I can't wait.
Baby Yoda is the best.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still have not seen it.
Once this image goes down, you're free to unmute. So, spoilers coming in 3, 2, 1. Captain America, old Captain America. Thoughts?
Old Captain America.
Yep.
See, he could have picked any time to go to. He could have went back to the days of the Civil War and helped out there and like just stopped slavery altogether, or he could have stopped the Nazis. He could have fucking killed Adolf Hitler while he was a child and stopped that from happening. But no,
someone else would come to power. But that's a different topic.
But no, he chose to relive his old glory days by going back to his time. Like what?
Well,
what an asshole!
That introduces the grandfather paradox in a way too, because if he goes and
then he wouldn't do it. Yeah,
change your own life.
No, that's the butterfly effect. You're thinking of the butterfly effect.
No. The butterfly effect is different. So the butterfly effect is where one small thing can affect a much larger thing on a much larger scale in a much different place.
Okay, I'll say this. I'll say something about. Hold on a second. I'll say something really good about old Captain America. Mm-hmm. When he went back in time, he chose not to go the Barry Allen route and just fuck with the timeline. He kept things as they were. He kept things stable. He didn't change the entire fucking timeline.
So yeah, one thing that I want to say is it's. So I don't like when there's multiple versions of time travel all using the same time travel mechanism, right? So essentially the way that they opted to go, right, is if you travel back in time, if you don't keep things the same, then it creates an alternate timeline. But if you keep things if things are kept the same, then it doesn't create an alternate timeline.
Actually, I would say differently. Simply by traveling back in time, you have already altered time. Sort of like they say the simple act of observing something changes it.
Yeah, like if the going back in time to do something, alters. If there's something that you could do that can alter the timeline by going back in time, then by going back in time you are altering the timeline. But somehow they managed.
Look at Flashpoint for an example of that. Just Barry Allen, just by going back in time, he changed the slightest things, and every single time it looked at the timeline.
Yeah, a good example would be in Terminator 1, where basically a robot went back and shot at Sarah Connor. Now, the thing of it is, whatever they do, a robot still came back. So the post-destiny is set. So whatever happened, whatever you do between 1987 and 2029, the end result happens because a robot came back in time. So you can really only observe and not manipulate. You can't kill someone's father or whatever, or mother.
Zanju made a point. But what if the travel backwards was already in the current timeline, like in Harry Potter? And if you want to do that, fine, take that route. But make sure your time travel is consistent with that. Like the problem in Endgame is they decide to opt for both that, right? The time travel had already happened, and the going back in time can change, can create a basically alternate timeline. They literally said that, like the woman, the ancient one, she said if you take one of the Infinity Stones, it creates an alternate timeline and all that. So there's basically they decide to have their cake and eat it too kind of thing by having by making it so that Cap could. I wouldn't have minded so much if it had been an alternate time. If Cap had just come back old or something, if it had been an alternate timeline that he lived.
I think DC handled it. I think DC handled it really well when they did like Flashpoint, where it created 52 different universes.
Okay, are you talking about the TV show?
No. I'm talking about the original, the comic.
Yeah, because I haven't read the comic.
Going back in time.
But TV...
So the comics had Barry going back in time, like repeatedly changing one thing after another to, quote-unquote fix the present.
Okay, so I'm just going to take down the in-game thing, because I do want to talk about... I do want to talk a little bit about how the TV show's time travel is absolutely fucked.
Yeah, well, it was.
Well, to invoke Star Trek 2009, okay... it was not the he wasn't the Romulan guy, right? But the guy with the big drilling ship, right? Who wanted to save Romulus.
The Riemann.
Yeah, the Riemann, right? That was
No. I remember now.
I know who you're talking about.
The alien.
Okay.
His name was another alien.
Okay. Young Spock. Okay, this is how they explained, like how they rebooted the whole movie franchise. Right? Was that he went back in time, and he effectively he killed Kirk's father, right? And that changed the timeline, and therefore that had changed the timeline for everybody. So young Spock said. When young Kirk was saying, we should be unpredictable, and young Spock said, well, by him going back in time, he has effectively changed everything in the timeline. Therefore, we cannot predict anything, so being unpredictable is impossible.
Yeah.
Like the way that I view time travel is when you set up time travel in the universe, right? Make it consistent. Right? So
I don't think you can, though. I think that is a paradox in itself.
So now we
simply
have
going back. You interfere.
Well, no.
Because,
When it comes,
and then there's Discovery. Then there's Discovery, which has time travel in it as well. If you haven't seen the end of Discovery, season 2, go ahead and watch it now because holy shit.
So one of the things when it comes to time travel and I'm talking about fictional universes, right? Is when you create time travel in a fictional universe, you need to make sure that it is consistent. When something, basically, when something happens, it needs to happen consistently. You could create multiple types of time travel, right? But you need to clarify that there are different types of time travel.
That's one thing.
For one,
that's one thing Doctor Who does excellent. Doctor Who does that excellently, actually.
So for one universe that I have thought of, right? There's 2 types of time travel, right? There is random time travel, right, which is uncontrolled and happens within the same universe. So when that's already kind of a thing of already happened, right? So, but then there's also human time travel, right, which will generally human invoked time travel will generally cause you to just jump to another universe. That already exists.
that was covered. That would be covered in a TV show called Sliders, which was on probably over 20 years ago, where there were alternative universes. And what you had to do was they needed
time travel. They dealt with dimension hopping, not time travel.
Sliders was a whole bunch of set universes where you had to be at this place, you were wormholed away to another universe, and these guys were desperately trying to get back to their proper universe. Yeah. And they actually used it as a great medium for showing history, like they ended up back at JFK and they were at Woodstock.
Well, that's like Quantum Leap also.
It's great. Yeah, Sliders was a great show. It just didn't get a repeat series. Yeah.
They got 7 seasons though. They got either 7 or 8 seasons. I mean, they did pretty good.
So
they got a really good run.
So basically, the idea that I've thought of here, the reason why the rules that I'm talking about are consistent, right? So the reason for it being consistent is if you travel back. If you travel back in time within the same universe, it will. I feel like
so you're talking about Back to the Future rules. You're talking about Back to the Future rules, then? No,
it's not Back to the Future. If you travel back in time within the same universe, that has already happened. So you've already traveled.
Yeah, that's Back to the Future rules. Yeah.
No. It's not Back to the Future rules. It basically means. So Back to the Future rules seem to be. You can still change things, like if you travel back in time.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So the way that I'm saying is, if you with random, with the sort of random, something happens and you're accidentally sent back in time, that will send you back in time to a point that's already happened, And every action you take. So yes, 36 is saying no, it's Harry Potter rules, right?
That's Harry Potter rules.
Now, if you try and invoke time travel in this universe, instead of invoking time travel, you're actually just popping to another dimension, basically, or another universe, to another timeline. And in fact, the timeline that you're jumping to may actually have been changed prior to you actually jumping into that timeline, if that makes sense. So basically, maybe there was something that you.
There's actually a list somewhere describing all the forms of time travel. Let me find it.
Yeah. Yes. What would be the objective of the time travel?
So it'd be. I find time travel to be interesting. Usually, I use it to set up a few interesting sort of plot points, I guess. Like I've got some.
Okay, so there's like Back to the Future rules,
Mm.
which makes sense, and then there would be like Harry Potter rules. Then there's Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure rules, which
Great one. Yep.
yeah, that's a great one. And then there's Doctor Who rules, Terminator, Star Trek, Butterfly Effect. The Butterfly Effect movie was really great too.
Mm.
So that's about what 5 different types of time travel there.
Yeah,
basically.
So basically, the way that I think it can be, summed up, right, is if I bring up Paint.
Like with Doctor Who, like if you take Doctor Who rules for example, Doctor Who rules basically say, you know, your traveling in time does not affect anything. You cannot, you know, affect the future by doing anything in the past.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much what's the word? Inconsequential to the timeline.
Yeah. So essentially, I'm just going to. I brought up Paint. I've just got to show it to everyone. So.
But he breaks that. But he breaks that rule, or she now breaks that rule. Well, he did. Yeah, it was he when it happened.
Oh, God. Wait,
by
so
bringing
does
back
Doctor
Gallifrey.
Who, does the Doctor Who universe just the timeline like it fixes itself? Is that the point? Can the timeline not be? Is that how it works? Like, does it fix itself? The Doctor Who timeline.
The Doctor Who timeline. No, it's just.
Okay, so
or inconsequential. Unless you muck up a predetermined point in history, which he's done a couple times, like with Gallifrey, for instance.
Okay, apparently I can't show you.
I didn't.
Okay, so essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to share screen, right? So here's basically a timeline with no time travel, right? So this type of timeline is just nothing happens and we'll go from left to right. And I might just go for a bit bigger brush size so that... Okay, so here's a couple of types of time travel. There's divergent path time travel. So basically you go back when you go back in time, right? It creates a alternate timeline like that, right? And if you go back in time on this timeline, it creates a alternate timeline like that, right? And so essentially that's like the divergent path. That's like the multiverse timeline idea. And in fact, I think Avengers is... I think they're actually playing with that now. That idea.
Well, actually, it would be more like a closed loop. It would be more like a closed loop instead of an extra dimension where it would lapse back onto itself.
No. Well, this is more like the Flash. So if you go back in time from here, say you go back to here, and then it creates a separate timeline. So that's kind of like Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Different events. It's a different unit.
Now, also you've got the closed loop time travel, right? So basically, if you go back in time to here, right, things continue on because that already happened. That's basically Harry Potter style time travel. Now, Back to the Future is a little strange. If you go back to the time here, things can diverge and change from how they would be, but you are also impacted. So it's basically like it diverges and then reverges back on itself after. I don't like that time travel. I don't like Back to the Future time travel.
Yeah, that future is weird.
Does it create another timeline, or is it just the original timeline that gets altered? Or is it like the original timeline gets altered and
the original timeline gets altered, but rewrites over the actual timeline.
Okay. So it gets altered. Okay.
It still maintains the Copenhagen interpretation.
Timeline doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
well,
the original timeline doesn't exist.
Yeah, okay, that's
Marty McFly took that book back that had all the sports results, which made the other guy very rich. And then when he returned to the current time, it was a very different world. It was doom and gloom. So the time he went out of, he actually influenced by taking that almanac with all the sports results.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, see, and if Marty McFly hadn't done that, we wouldn't have Donald Trump.
Then there's also...
I mean,
probably right.
Compare Bannon to Trump. That's exactly what
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
So when it comes to this timeline, you could say that when it comes to Back to the Future, you could say that it creates another universe, and this universe here just gets erased.
Yep, that's right.
That's basically Back to the Future. There's also a type of time travel where essentially you go back in time, right? And it's not so much you're going back in time, but more of you're rewinding time. Except you're rewinding everything but your mind. So, does that make sense?
Well, no, you couldn't really rewind your mind, I don't think, because unless...
Well, essentially,
I don't know. Rewinding...
It's basically like, has anyone played Life is Strange?
No.
No, I played the first episode of it, but I didn't really.
Let me introduce a theory, okay, that might sort of shed a little light on this. Okay, now I have a glass on my table, right? It is full of vodka. I'm going to drink some of it, by the way, but I pick up this glass and I put it down in a different place. Now, by doing that, I am in effect a god. Because what I have done by moving that glass from one position on the table to another is that I have slightly changed the rotation of the Earth, infinitesimal amount. But in doing that, I've changed the rotation of the other planets by influence of gravity, and therefore the influence of the rotation of the solar system, and therefore the influence of the rotation of the galaxy, and therefore the galaxy in relation to other galaxies. In effect, I have changed everything in the universe by simply moving a glass of vodka.
Well, you do have to wait for a little bit for some of that to take impact.
Okay.
Well, it would cascade, but it would
Gravity isn't
millions of
instantaneous.
years.
But anyway,
you have to wait millions of years for that to happen. But yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I do have one.
I have had an influence there, though.
But one of the getting back to the type of time travel that was you going to say something?
I was going to say, if you're going to travel back in time, you can't create matter. You can't meet yourself. So if you're going to start traveling back in time, wouldn't you start de-aging as well? So when you go back to 1922, it would be your 1922 self. So theoretically, you can't go previous to your birth because those atoms are somewhere else.
Quantum
There's
leap rules.
proteins and whatever.
That's quantum leap rules.
So
you just can't.
That is quantum
you can't
leap rules.
exist in two places.
So when it comes to this type of time travel that I'm saying about here, I think this is the fourth type of time travel that I brought up. This is where you basically it's where you basically travel back to a point in time in your life. So that's it's basically you're going back to a point in time in your life. You keep the same mind, but you'd have the body that you'd have at that time. And I know that I'm pretty sure the butterfly effect utilizes this kind of thing. Again, it's another form of altering the timeline, right? And erasing everything, except you can so it would basically erase everything that happened after here. But you do keep the memories of what happened there. They're stored as memories in this new timeline, basically. If that makes sense.
Right, well, Big Bang had a very interesting theory where they signed the roommate agreement and said if anybody develops time travel in the future, they are to come back to this point in 10 seconds' time and reveal. So they all signed the contract, waited 10 seconds, no result.
That'd be an interesting. That'd be an interesting thing.
And also, another beauty was the Bill and Ted one, which I think Charisma touched on before.
Yeah.
They needed the key to be under the rock, And they said, we need the key, but it's not going to be back for 3 weeks. Well, hang on. Let's remember to travel forward in time, get the key. Where would we put it? We'll put it under the rock. And they went and lifted the rock and found the key. So they predetermined the time travel that they had to do afterwards to get back to somewhere. It gets very, fuck your head over it. You get a headache.
Yeah, but how many paradoxes would they create in doing that?
Well, they had to remember to do it, but they obviously did because the key was there.
I'm back.
But then again, we are talking Keanu Reeves here.
Keanu Reeves can do anything.
Keanu Reeves? Oh, what did I miss? Holy crap. I just wanted to say,
Keanu Reeves is like, I am Keanu Dracula. Like the cereal.
Has anyone seen that Dracula movie, by the way?
Interview with a Vampire?
No, the movie, I think it's Bram Stoker's Dracula or something like that. I'm pretty sure it had Keanu Reeves in it.
Probably.
Back in...
Lame.
Let me see. Dracula cast.
Hey, everything Keanu Reeves touches turns to gold.
Okay, here we go. Bram Stoker's Dracula cast. There was Gary Oldman, Keanu Reeves, Anthony Hopkins. Gary Oldman was the best in it.
Gary Oldman's great.
Gary Oldman's always great. I mean, he was a great Zorg too.
I was about to say Fifth Element, yeah.
Hey guys, Mike71 has brought up a ripper in the chat. What about Red Dwarf where Lister... it just scrolled away from me. Red Dwarf have got the best time travel rules. Yeah, good on you, Mike. I thought of that before and it slipped my mind. Lister kickstarted the Big Bang, I think, from the very future. He actually kickstarted the Big Bang that started the whole universe. So he was, in essence, God, I believe. Is that right, Mr. 71, whoever you were?
Yeah, that would make him...
In fact, Red Dwarf...
That's a new error on YouTube. YouTube's audio renderer crashed on my machine, apparently.
Yeah, it's been misbehaving the last couple of days badly. And I dare say Natalie will use that excuse to bail out of the debate today, but he's being flown in. Natalie has got to fly.
I think Nathan's just he's gonna duck out just like he did whenever he met team at not met team, he ran away from team at the Flat Earth conference. Preston Frost Laser Range has the best video covering exactly that. That was one hilarious with the crab. Hey Nathan, I just want to talk.
Nope.
I just think of the badger running away, going nope.
Yeah, same.
Now Dora the Coos brought up. What about Family Guy time travel fit in? There's one, as well as South Park.
Oh God,
I'm not sure how their time travel systems work.
Is such
not Family Guy. Not Family Guy. Family Guy just.
I'm guessing it's taking the piss out of time travel things. So.
Yeah, that's all it was.
So here we are arguing quantum physics and time travel, and we're using Family Guy.
And Wallace, remember.
It's a cartoon. We're using cartoon.
Hey Wallace, remember when I linked quantum mechanics and general relativity?
I'm pretty sure that's a reference.
That's
No,
Family Guy reference.
Yeah, that's Family Guy.
Watch out for Quagmire, though.
Yeah, the Cartman time travel episode on South Park was also fantastic.
Oh my God, yes.
Phone call, yeah. Only to be used for prank calls. Yes, not to be used to manipulate the future, only for prank calls, I believe.
Oh yeah, that one. We travel to the future. Yeah.
Doesn't the Back to the Future time travel kind of seem unnatural? Like from what I understood when you were talking about it earlier, just like it seems like it would be designed, and it just doesn't seem like that's plausible.
Yeah, I found an
I have
interesting
a
one.
flux capacitor. It doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, if you can lend it to me, I'll return it yesterday. Can I borrow it, please? I need one.
Let's do peer reviews.
Well, one thing I did like was when Michael J had gone back in time. Now, later in the piece, his mum was referring to women being sluts and so forth. And yet, back in the 50s, when she met up with her future son, she was touching him up under the table, and he's thinking, yeah, right. That was one of those little classic moments of that movie I thought was interesting.
Oh, Calvin.
And it's true. Yes.
I watched it as a kid, and it was so uncomfortable. Like, it was so...
Yeah.
Well, I was fine with it until I thought, what if that was my mom? Oh, my God. And that's what broke it for me.
Yeah. I'm just going way off topic here. I'm just noticing something.
Yeah.
Like some people seem to be very predictable, I guess. Like, well, you don't know it until like a few times. But a round of applause, basically every time I say about he can come on a stream or something, he's like, silence. I haven't heard from him since I started the stream. I said, well, the stream will start in a few minutes. Everyone is free to join, and I've heard nothing from him. What if I were to just constantly stream 24/7? I feel like that would kill flat earthers. That would just kill flat earth because they just wouldn't say anything as long as I'm streaming. Like Harry Warp says he's probably in another Discord. Like, let's see what.
Here's
someone to debate.
Eraser and Time Cop. Someone brought up Time Cop, and it just brought me back to Eraser also.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen him in daily.
What happened to the guy? What was his name? You're stupid or something.
Oh, why you are an idiot? Oh, he.
Yeah.
So I was meant to have a discussion with him or a debate with him, and he never showed. Like, he messaged me like a week before, and I was like, I let him know when it was, and silence.
He flirted.
I haven't. Yeah, he flirted. I haven't seen him ever since, and it's like he. I did watch like the video where he's kind of. I guess he tried to make his point in a video, and it's like really bad point.
Sure.
I could basically. I could
play
basically.
it.
Do you really want to? It's a really bad. It's incel level take.
Please.
Can we afford the therapy and brain cells?
I remember he was like, oh my god, what was it? He didn't know how reflection works or something. It was like something very basic. I know that.
Wait. Is it the one where why do mirrors reverse left and right but not up and down?
No.
This is like the video that I'm talking about. It's worse than Flat Earth.
He's like really just.
It's not.
He talks big game, yet he doesn't really get it.
This is nothing to do. Like, the video has nothing to do with Flat Earth. It has to do with religion, and it's the. It would have to be the most incel take I have ever heard.
Please, I mean, you can't just. You have to show it now.
Do tell. You can't open a can of worms like that and just walk away.
Okay. Right. Everyone will be able to see it. Alright, here we go. I'm just gonna put it in this tab. Alright, it's called Why Not to Date Women!
Also, wait, before you start, I think you should end the live stream on Discord if no one is watching.
The live stream on Discord is so that you guys can see.
Just because of your internet. So if you I don't know if you forgot it was.
I'm watching. I'm watching.
Okay. Yeah, I know that it's still going.
Okay. If it isn't broken, don't fix it.
All right. So he doesn't say anything during it, so I'll just mute it. So it says here, the words of God will come to pass. And it's Hebrews 10:16. I'll put the laws on your hearts. The words of God will come to pass whether you like it or not. And it's in brackets, don't date someone's ex. So
I like how he just repeats the same thing again because he has nothing better to say.
Pretty much. So, yeah.
Well, isn't almost everybody someone's ex?
So, first he says, Austrian man kills his 19-year-old ex-girlfriend.
Why is he Google Images really on a phone?
Jealous lover 20 allegedly roped in 8 family members to stab, kill ex-girlfriend's new 18-year-old boyfriend. Man who murdered ex-girlfriend in front of her own business sentenced to life in prison. Man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend in Fort Worth as her kids stood nearby.
Is he trying to prove that this is somehow? What is he trying to do?
Utah man shoots ex-girlfriend's boyfriend after being accused of cheating.
If you kill someone, you're going to jail. What's his point? Because God said it, and they're going to jail. Is that his point?
Okay, let me just basically the whole thing is the same thing. So, just more headlines, and it's the law is on our hearts. Hebrews 10:16. This is the covenant that I'll make with them after that time, says the Lord. I'll put my laws in their hearts, and I'll write them on their minds. Right. And Leviticus 10:20. If a man commits adultery with another man's wife, both the adulterer and the adulteress are to be put to death. And it says God's word will come to pass. God's word will come to pass. It's like, what the fuck?
That doesn't happen with every single. That doesn't happen with every single relationship, though.
Yeah, it's like, first off,
but I just proved that was God. I didn't say that.
So he's just really trying to create a big case out of a whole lot of little false equivalencies, and then just hit you with a barrage of that to create convincing. Doro's brought up an interesting one in the chat. Wait, didn't brothers marry their dead brothers' wives? I'm pretty sure that's in the Bible, and yeah, you're right, Doro, they did.
There's also,
in fact, if you murder all sorts of shit in the Bible where they kill your people, you get their possessions, and it's just one fucked up little book.
Yeah. And it's like, they're not even talking, some of these things aren't even talking about their wives. Man charged with killing ex-girlfriend's boyfriend. It's like, first off, there's a lot of stretching that has to be done here to if a man commits adultery with another man's wife, both the adulterer and the adulteress are to be put to death, right? So, do you if you get a divorce, are you still if you get a divorce with your wife, is that still your wife? Is that?
What's his point again?
If two Trumpsters,
women, okay.
If two Trump supporters get a divorce, are they still cousins?
There's this takes a lot of stretching. I don't see how we can defend this. This is it makes far more sense that these killings that were done, these murders where this man charged with killing ex-girlfriend's boyfriend, I think that was just a jealous guy who was way too jealous and decided, I'm gonna kill my ex-girlfriend's boyfriend because fuck him. I don't like him, this kind of thing.
Just if I can't have them, nobody can. That's what it is. And she probably never put out for him anyway, so he was mad about that too.
Yeah, this is insane levels of trying to justify insane shit. And it's Kylo Renfield.
Well, that's what God is for.
Kylo Renfield in the chat says, makes complete sense. Don't date women because some people kill people.
Yeah, that's basically his point.
Basically, what he's trying to create with this whole narrative, it's murder, it's mayhem, and it's all thing. He's trying to I'll cut down to the chase. He's trying to make you as miserable as himself because he's basically done nothing with himself. All he can do is argue from a certain narrative, and he has doubts about it. That's why he won't come on and debate you. various things, but the guy is just miserable and has to spread misery to make the world feel better for himself.
Like,
I call them world burners.
Here's a question that I have for why you are an idiot. Do I deserve to be put to death?
Is he in the chat or?
I don't know, but that is a question that I would have for him if I talk to him. Do I?
Oh, okay.
Do I deserve to be put to death? Because no matter how you spin it, right? Okay, I haven't slept with another guy's wife, but the way that he's spinning it here, apparently I should be put to death. If just sleeping with someone's ex is enough to be put to death, I'm
36's. I'm 36 has brought up a beauty. He's trying to say God willed these guys to kill their girlfriends because they committed adultery. So he's trying to say that God will get you if you misbehave. And that's sort of it. And he can get out of misbehaving because he's got a confession booth to go to every Sunday and then be a douchebag for the next 6 days.
So am I going to be... So here's the thing. Am I going to be put to death because I slept with someone's girlfriend?
If God told me to, that's how I justify it. Yeah.
There's no such thing as ex-girlfriend in the Bible. Like, once a girlfriend, always a girlfriend. Like, there's no escape.
Yeah.
Well, just to put another point in, these are the same people who said God hates abortion, when in the Bible God specifically said to abort the adulterer's child.
Yeah. He gave instructions on how, in fact. Those instructions are probably bullshit.
What are they really?
Yeah, it was take this tincture or whatever and
take the dust off the floor, I believe, and mix it with this other shit and all kinds of other stuff, and basically it's
these people, they don't actually read the Bible.
Yeah, you're right.
They just invoke God.
So one person says, but there's a problem with that analysis. Leviticus says both are to be put to death, but all those articles only indicate the death of a woman. Yeah, some of them do indicate, man charged with killing ex-girlfriend's boyfriend. You know, that's the killing of the guy. There's a few things. Teenager stabbed his... Okay, I'm just... Like, most of them, it's... Wait, what the... Hold up. Willingboro man indicted for killing ex-girlfriend's grandmother and 9-year-old brother. What? Wait.
What does this have to do with any of... Like,
how does this support your argument?
That's... Did he forget what his argument was?
Yeah, it's like, if you are related to the, how is this not? Yeah, like I'm 36. That's not the adulterer or the adulteress.
There was actually.
How do
you have Flannery? You have that video about I'm offended in religion. I think I posted to you during the week. It's got an Ace of Hearts on it. Did you actually watch that or not?
Yeah, I watched that after you left the call.
Right. So the god of Terence, the honey badger. You're familiar with
Terence the honey badger.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, but I won't drag it on with the chat because no one else has seen it. But I just had to check up on you because it is worth a watch.
Yeah. Can we watch one of his videos about giants, please? It's short. It's short, but people need to see it.
Like, I think I've seen it. Videos.
It's like a stone that does not look like anything, and it's like, look at this mammoth, giant
was
mammoth.
Was that the one where the giant heart, the giant's heart?
I think this is. I think this is it here. Like,
No, Noah's Titans. Yeah, Noah's Titans. That one. Yeah.
Yeah, like the. Like
Yeah,
apparently
it's
that's evidence of a.
Yeah, that's a face. That's that's definitely a face. 100%.
Pareidolia. Pareidolia.
It's like that. That does not prove in any way that giants live.
He just wants it to be
Dr.
true.
Evil's hideout. Jeez.
Like, if I were to take a photo of like when you like literally, you just have to. If I just go to Google, search the web, and I search for.
Noah's Titan.
No, I'm just going to search for
Jesus toast.
Pareidolia, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I spelled it right. Pareidolia, right? Like,
Yeah, it's when people, it's when they find connection patterns and stuff that like have
is
no
this evidence that a
aren't supposed
being
to
is
have
in
sense.
is in here? Is this evidence that they are giant titans? You know, the walls are made out of titans. Here,
Remember when one of his points was that all religions are true, but their interpretations are wrong, and there's only one God.
Oh yeah.
And I asked him, why does he think that his God was the one that, like, he says, yeah, the giants from like some of the Asian cultures, they existed. Yeah, all of the myths that are true from every single culture there is, but only his God, but only his God was real. And I asked him why.
Yeah.
And he just continued to like repeat his rambling about angel aliens or something.
Yeah, so
about the Apache helicopters in the 80s.
Let me try and clarify his. Let me try and clarify his argument. Basically, his argument is that because in the Bible it says that the angels came down from heaven to give, to basically. Basically, apparently, according to him in the Book of Enoch or something, that aliens came down from not aliens, angels came down from heaven and had sex with men, and they were fallen angels, and those angels got worshipped as gods by other religions.
Yeah, and his argument.
Wonder why I left religion.
Yeah, I can understand why.
I mean, you need medication to stay on this stuff.
But yeah, essentially, his argument is something like, this here is an ancient dragon, I guess. And
well, there's a.
Okay, I don't even know what he's seeing here. Like, is this supposed to be an ancient vagina? That's literally what I'm seeing in here.
Dog. Oh, yeah. Sure. That's a giant's vagina right there. Sure.
You're like, I don't get what else you can be seeing here. Like, do you think that's a face? All I'm seeing.
I can go back.
Is a giant vagina.
Can you go back to that picture you had before, the one with the building at the top right, or have you lost that position?
I've got it here.
I find potato chips that look like vaginas quite regularly, but that's probably more me than the potato chips. You tend to see these. There was an interesting social experiment where what they did was got one guy in as a subject, and there was a lot of paid actors, and they start handing things around the table like, what is this? And they'd say it's an apple, and everyone would agree. Then the next thing, they would then say it's a banana, when in fact it was an orange. And this guy who was the subject matter, he'd look at it and go, well, no, it's not a banana, it's an orange. And he'd correct them a couple of times. And then as they continued to do this, where they were definitely intentionally misnaming objects, he started agreeing. And there's this certain psychological thing that kicks in with this, whereby you will cop bullshit just to fit in, because by calling it out, you're alienating yourself. And that, my friend, is got to be that basis. What's it called? Sorry?
It's called groupthink.
Okay, and you just get caught into it. It's a social instinct, and religion is kind of based on that. A bunch of guys getting together and they're all talking shit, but we all thought it was a good idea.
Yeah, like that's...
There was
I've seen that in action.
There's a similar. I'm sorry. There was a similar experiment where they had a bunch of college students in a class, and then a white guy run in holding a banana like a gun, and then some point later on, randomly in the semester, they had a black guy run in holding a banana like a gun, and they asked everybody what was their first impressions. Now, the first impressions they thought with the white guy was that he's holding a banana. They were laughing, and when the black guy runs in with a gun, they said, or runs in with a banana, they said, oh, he was holding a gun. That was the first thought. And that was only because the teacher reacted like the black guy had a gun. And so everybody thought, because the teacher reacted that way, that was the truth, before they even saw clearly it was a banana.
Yeah, like when it comes to a lot of things, like, yeah, I see what you're talking about when it comes to people having certain, like, this is why I think a lot of people sort of try to respect religion, right? Well, a lot of people try to respect religion because if they don't, you can run the risk of being ostracized by religious people, and I think that's a big reason why people think that religion is something that needs to be respected. And why people like me, I'm like, well, I know enough atheists to think that I don't really need to respect religion. I can respect religious people, I just can't respect religion.
Do I knock on your door and say, hello, Planer, Mr. Planer, would you be interested to know about our belief of the globe Earth and science? We don't need to do that, whereas all religions do knock on your doors and do need to flog their narratives. So, I don't know, very, very interesting how they need to spread their word and claim persecution through not being able to persecute, too.
Yeah, like, you see, I don't mind if a Jehovah's Witness comes to my door. Like, next time Jehovah's Witnesses come to my door, I'll probably invite them in and have a discussion. Maybe even I'll be like, do you want to stream this? Have a bit of a debate. Because, they'll probably be kind and respectful. I'll ask them if they have figured out that they're in a cult. Because Jehovah's Witnesses basically are... This is actually something interesting. I actually did this... Here's something that you can do. Ask just about any ex-Jehovah's Witness about whether Jehovah's Witnesses fit the bite model. I've gone through every question with multiple ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. Like, I've had a friend and telltale atheist. I didn't need to go through it with him. He did it on his own channel anyway. So, you basically go through the list of things, and 90% of the questions, ex-Jehovah's Witnesses will say, oh yeah, that describes things. But I went through it with someone who is a bit more respectful of religion, I guess, and they said, oh, no, that's not true. And the most interesting one was when you get to something like restricts or controls sexuality, right? And because that's a definite yes, right? But you want to know what the people that I was talking to said? They said, well, it's just part of their book. Right, it's just part of the Bible. That's why they restrict sexuality. It's like, wait, what? Is anyone?
Well, if you look at it, I mean, a lot of religions they started from books. They didn't actually start from any actual observable evidence. People generally believed something was because of something, and therefore decided that was the truth.
Yeah, but when it comes to saying, it doesn't matter that they restrict or control sexuality because that gets to know because it's part of the Bible. It's like, yeah, but they're still restricting or controlling sexuality. This stuff, you could basically justify all these. You could basically make a cult, right? And basically justify every cult thing using the Bible. And it doesn't mean that it's not a cult just because all of the things that they do are justified from the Bible. It's still a cult. It's just...
Well, if you want to backpedal on that, and you Vikings came up earlier, their religion to Odin, or Woden, depending on which books you read, actually had merit, because if you died in battle, and the better you died, the greater you were, you went off and you were basically in the hall with Odin or Woden, pissing up and having fun like Vikings do. So it made sense for you to fight hard, and it generated a great army, as we know. That, to me, did make sense. And it wasn't until one of their later Vikings got into some trouble and a bloke with him prayed to God, and then suddenly the Christianity turned. This was a Danish Viking whose name escapes me. But that religion actually had a degree of logic, as did the Greek mythology. It was a big soapy, but it was a way of explaining lightning and thunder and all those godly things. And if you think about it, with the Vikings, and you watch the Aurora Borealis, probably with some peyote under the belt, you would see dragons. And combine that with lightning and so forth, you would have been honestly seeing battles between the gods and dragons. The Aurora Borealis looks fantastic. So it kind of makes sense from a Viking point of view. What doesn't make sense is crucifixions and all that bullshit that Christians come out with. So, yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Well, crucifixion was considered the universal punishment at the time.
Of course, yes, the Romans were big on it. I tend to think there probably was a dude who was the Jesus character who pretty much went up and, according to Bethany Hughes, who does documentaries on the BBC, he cracked the shits with the Jewish boys who were charging admission to go and wail at the Wailing Wall, and he kicked the table out saying, "This is not what God's about, you guys are profiting." Now, the Jews and the Romans were having a bit of a war, and they both used him as the scapegoat. And he probably wasn't really the Jesus and so forth, but there was someone who did create a ruckus about that time. And the Roman dude in charge, I think, was called Pilate. Could anyone elaborate on that little section of the story?
I can't remember. Well, I do know that there was, people do talk a lot about Pilate or something, yeah.
Pontius Pilate. Hi, guys.
Pontius Pilate, yeah.
Yeah, and he was the one who basically organised organised all the crucifixions. I think Monty Python makes more sense than the Bible, actually.
But
there's lots of silly things in everything. There's lots of silly things in what I believe, which is the standard model in general relativity. To say like, oh, there's no silly things out there, is to not recognize that everyone has fundamentally some stuff that they can't justify.
There was a book. There was a book written by Bart D. Ehrman. Talk about there was a book called Misquoting Jesus. It's available on PDF in certain places, but it basically talks about how much is wrong with the Bible, and like all of the contradictions in the Bible. I mean, for example, in the Bible, it's like one of the 10 Commandments: "Thou shalt not kill." And then another one is do not covet thy neighbor's goods, and "Thou shalt not steal," etc. Christians massacred, like literally committed genocide against Palestinians for refusing to convert, and then they looted and pillaged their villages and stole their women, killed their children, took everything they had. That's all against Christianity, the tenets of Christianity technically, but that's in the Bible.
Yeah.
And then it says don't lie, cheat, and steal.
Yeah. One of the I'm going to end up soon, but one of the things I do want to ask on the subject of Christianity, right, is what do you guys think of the debate that's probably happening right now as we speak, between Katz and Hovind?
Oh, Hovind will be gish galloping like he does. He's very measured, drags you out and doesn't give you time. He won't take Simon down on because Simon set certain parameters that don't fit his gish gallop.
Yeah.
He'll declare both sides will declare victory.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm going to go back and after the stream, I'm going to basically go back and watch the replay, because I think that'll be a fun thing to.
Can you post a link to that, by the way, in the chat?
Yeah,
so other people can see it.
Yeah, I'll post a link. No spoilers.
Yeah. Hey, I've actually got something, if you want to continue on Christianity, but I've actually had a really interesting occurrence with Facebook occur that I'd just like to bring up shortly, but go on, mate.
I'm just going to check to see if it's still going, because I think... Okay, yeah, it's still going. You guys probably heard the conspiracy cat stutter there for a second.
Yeah.
I had no idea this was happening, but that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's kind of silly because I think that debating any of these guys, Kent Hovind, Flat Earthers, whatever, is a silly proposition. They don't debate; they just preach. So you're not really, you're not doing anything rational.
Like the thing is, I could probably debate Kent Hovind on some stuff, right? The problem is that Kent Hovind does Gish Gallop, and he'll bring up something that I probably don't know about, right? That this is the problem. He'll bring up
15-foot penis.
What?
Like whales having a 15-foot penis.
Yeah, or he'll probably bring up something I don't know, this thing doesn't this particular thing here doesn't match what would expect in evolution here. It's like, well, I haven't gone and researched that, but some of his claims I instantly know they're false. Or
focus on those. That's what I would say. Just don't let. I mean, the other person will try to go blah 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 blah. Focus on the ones that you have that you can focus on, because that's what it's about. Because if you can show that they're wrong, then it doesn't matter what they bring up, because you can show that they're wrong about the subject you're talking about.
Yeah. So if Kent Hovind were to bring up something like the moon would have been too close to Earth long ago, I'd be like, okay, here's the problem with that statement. You're assuming that the rate of the moon moving away from the Earth is the same as it has been all the time. Gravity has I think it's inverse square law or something like that. So essentially, what you'd do is, as the moon gets closer to Earth, it would move away at a slower rate. So obviously, the rate that the moon is moving away from Earth would have been far slower in the past.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think it's the opposite. I think it came in very quickly, formed at a higher speed. The Earth had 12-hour days back when it first smashed in. But yeah, relevance to the moon and that. Look, Hovind, what he'll do, look, he actually tried to build a model of the Ark at one of his fun parks and create dinosaurs.
Wasn't that?
No, he did.
Wait, I thought that was what's his name, the Australian guy.
Ken Ham.
Ken Ham. No, it's Hovind. Yeah. Hovind has Ken Ham is like. I don't know. Didn't
actually Ken build the Ark Encounter?
The Ark Encounter.
They tried to build a copy of the Ark, and it's logistically impossible with that wood. And the problem is they had to make it smaller, thus proving that you can't get all the animals on. Right. And more or less, they had to modify the project so much that they debunked the fact that the Ark could have existed. And by trying to do it, they've got a mismatch there, and they've got it's a little room to go.
It's literally just a building.
It would be the biggest wooden ship in existence to be built. Nothing has ever floated that big that wasn't made out of steel. So, good on you, Kent. You've just debunked your fucking Bible. Good on you, mate.
I'm pretty sure that was Ken Ham.
Ken Ham. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the thing about... Like I said, the thing is to focus on what they get absolutely wrong and prove that, because it doesn't matter if they bring up a whole bunch of other stuff. You could say, even if you're right about all that stuff you brought up, it wouldn't matter because you're wrong about this, this, and this, and that brings your whole thing into question. Because it's like the moon thing is, the moon was a lot closer to the Earth. The Earth was spinning a lot faster, and because of tidal forces gravitationally, the moon slowed down as it receded from the Earth.
One thing I just got to point out in chat about tidally locked. The reason why the moon is tidally locked with the Earth, or why any object orbiting another object eventually gets tidally locked, like moons orbiting planets. The reason for that is because essentially the way that gravity operates. So the gravity of the Earth
is much larger than the gravity of the moon.
Also,
now this is what will happen is eventually.
The heavy spot towards Earth, and the moon is not.
I study gravity.
The moon does not weigh the same all the way around.
I study gravity. So what happens is the systems will eventually come to an equilibrium over time. So the Earth would be tidally locked with the moon over 10 or 15 billion more years, but it's not going to have that long. Yeah. So, but the moon, since it's much smaller and much less massive than the Earth, took less time to become tidally locked than the Earth would to the moon. And ultimately, the Earth and the Sun would have the same thing happen.
Yeah, our particular solar system.
The sun will go supernova before the tidally lock thing happens.
And it'll go supernova before the Earth and Moon system becomes fully tidally locked as well.
Yeah.
Our particular solar system is unique in that most of them they're discovering have what is a hot Jupiter. Your bigger planets that form out are slowly coming and swallow up the little ones. Now, apparently, the formation of Saturn kind of held Jupiter back, and therefore we're at a unique position. And the other thing that came up was the moon is unusually large to be a satellite to Earth, hence how it formed. So as Jupiter's got lots of little moons. So we've got a unique solar system here which seemed to allow the existence of the smaller planets and Earth, which is the only pretty much place we can get life in the whole universe we know of. But there will be others, of course.
Well, there's also two things about Jupiter. Is number one, Jupiter tends to suck up a lot of the asteroids that would have normally... And secondly, Jupiter was almost a star. It just wasn't big enough.
No, Jupiter wasn't anywhere close to being a star. And I read a paper recently where it turns out that the numbers can be flipped either way. You could say that Jupiter deflects stuff from us, but also Jupiter pushes stuff in as well. So it's kind of iffy. And also, we don't really know about the formation of the solar system, especially now we're looking around. We see all these hot Jupiters, as was mentioned. There's stuff about thinking about planetary migration and how this might have been a different system a while ago. And there's a lot of different stuff about formation and how the Earth-Moon system formed, as was mentioned, because it is, I mean, lots of people consider it almost a double planet system because the Moon is so large compared to the Earth.
And it formed from another planet too, because it was actually a planet hitting us.
Well, we don't...
That's
probably. We don't know. But the baryon center of the Earth-Moon system is inside of the Earth's mass, so it's sort of like... inside of the Earth solid, so you're like, okay, well, you can maybe you can call it a moon, but I'm just saying, like, there are lots of ways to look at it, and we're still in the process of determining what actually happened. We don't know for sure.
Yeah. Well, I don't. You never will, but you work on your best models, and the current good model, to me, it does make a lot of sense to do with what was it? I think the formation of certain crystals on the moon that are here as well. What is it, zircon or something like that? Mm-hmm. That's one of the key things. They go on the chemistry, and it's actually an amazing little science to run through right now. I'm finding it fascinating, actually.
Yeah, I don't know much about the geology part, but I do know about the gravitational interaction part and some of that stuff. So, but yeah, I think zircon is one of those things. Gravity is fun. I was just recently. One of the reasons I've been away. Sorry, hi. I've been away for a while, but I was just recently in Arizona because I get to go every year because that's where I work, or that's where the company. Anyway, a couple years ago, I went to visit the Grand Canyon. This year, just last week, I went to visit two places that I guess evolutionists and flat earthers would say doesn't exist. I went to the Petrified Forest and Meteor Crater.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm just going to. So here I'm basically I'm going to end this in the stream because we've been streaming for 2.5 hours. But one thing I want to play before I end. Oh, what's that?
I just need 2 minutes. I've got to bring something up for everyone to love. I got an email from the federal government telling me the name of Usher for Blackrod is actually impersonating a federal position. because there is the usher of the Black Rod in Parliament.
Wow.
I received an email, right? And it came up in the algorithms, and I thought it was a piss take. So I've written back and said, "Dear sir, it is Mr. Blackrod to you. Stop emailing me as you're..." And I gave him a bit of shit. And then I've got this letter back saying, "You don't quite understand the seriousness." And it was a proper Commonwealth government letterhead telling me I'm not allowed to be usher of Blackrod because apparently I'm impersonating a federal parliament position.
Okay,
so my
can
new
you
name...
I need to make...
Can you like show me the letter or something?
I haven't got a copy. It's in my Gmail, but it's just... Oh, look, dude, it's priceless just seeing this because they have these new laws in. So, look, I'm going to be changing probably my name to OK Boomer and Mr. Boomer, of course, to you guys, and my wonderful wife, Karen Boomer, who's off speaking to the manager. But just the fact that I've got this letter, it's a fucking joke on the government. Yeah, like, it's Juice Media have drawn attention to it.
Yeah, I actually saw a
we'll
video
work on it during the week, mate.
Yes, send me the email because I find that very hard to be... I find that very hard to believe, honestly.
The grammar was so bad, I didn't believe it. Yeah,
Usher, you just changed your name to Boris Johnson then.
Or Prime Minister. I was thinking of Prime Minister or something, but it's just that they reckon I'm not allowed to use that name, and I've said it's I will say it's the Usher of the Black Rod. I'm not. My first name's Usher, my second name is Black Rod. But no, they reckon it's not right.
Could you call yourself the Queen?
The Queen of England.
Here's what, like, if I were you, right? I'm just saying what I'd do is I'd say, look, it's my name. I'm not impersonating anyone. You can fuck off. You know, that's what I'd do. I'd basically take a stand. If they try and sue, I'd rally the internet around me and... You know, hell, I think people like Simon Dan, Conspiracy Cats would rally around you. And seeing as your name is Usher Blackrod, you have full right to call yourself Usher of Blackrod. And so, therefore, you can basically get the... you're not impersonating anyone. So I'd say, you know, try and stick it to them. You know?
Well, yeah, look, at the end of the day... As long as I don't send out letterhead with Australian government and usher a Blackrod and tell someone to do something, I'm not impersonating. But I just thought I'd bring it up to throw it out there. If anyone's got any tips, just feed them to Planet Walk. Fill up his inbox, not mine. But yeah, if anyone's got some thoughts on, I want you really stretch this out and make the government look like fuckwits. And I'm almost going to PM Juice Media about it because I reckon it'll find its way into an ad. So everyone, start naming yourselves political positions in your country and see what happens. Could be an interesting precedent.
Well, it only work for Australians, probably. I don't think they've got that law anywhere else.
If I name myself Senator Christopher, I doubt they'd do anything.
So where are you going, mate? Where are you going to watch? What are we watching? The Conspiracy Cats?
Yeah. So I'm just before I end up off the stream because we're on the subject of gravity before, and you know Ashpanash was talking about gravity, so I just want to play this little clip here.
Better not be Desert Fire. I'll kill you if it is.
Gravity, you fucking retard! Gravity! Have you ever heard of fucking gravity? Gravity!
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 I really want that clip. I don't know where to get just that clip. Can you send that?
Just search gravity. All you have to do is search gravity desert file.
Gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, with that, leave a like and subscribe if you like that stream. Make sure you go. Make sure you go check out the debate with Katz and Kent Hovind. I'm gonna explicitly wait until it's finished. Do not spoil it for me in the comments.
I mean, how can you spoil it?
You can't. I mean, like it'd be
everyone
like
change your name to your local prime minister.
Yeah. Like if I'll see if I can I'll see if I can see if you can send me the emails, and I'll actually get Simon Dan to talk about it in an upcoming video.
Okay, yeah, it's from The Office, so that's cool, mate. We'll see what happens. We'll just pan out the way it goes. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, I will see you in the next stream. Between you and me, thank you for watching. And let me just grab my guitar. I'm pretty sure someone here likes Midnight Oil.
I do.
In the midnight oil.
Anyway.